It's that time again. It's old world time, and this time I'm going to be talking about the forces of fantasy armies. I don't know, the good guys. So in this video, I'm going to be going through this book with a top-down camera, going through each faction, giving you my overview thoughts, initial bits of information I've picked out. I've not had time to fully read this and digest it. I will be doing in-depth reviews on every faction in this book, starting with Bretonians, as they are the hotness. They're the new one that's got the journal. If you want to play any of the factions in Old World in this book, which is your Dwarves, Empire, Brets, Wood Elves, and High Elves, this is the book you need to get. You definitely need this. Even if you're playing Brets, the journal is not enough. In this video, I'm going to go through this. So let's get into it. Thank you very much, GW, for sending me this again. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my Old World content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that kind of stuff. It helps me out, help you guys out, so you don't miss a show. So let's get into it. So this is the Forces of Fantasy book. So this has got all the good guys in it. Again, like beautiful end cover. Love the map. In this book, you've got the following. You've got Dwarves, Empire, Brats, Wood Elves, High Elves. We'll start off with Dwarves, which is one of the factions that I've played over the years that I really like. I never really liked the way they played. That's why I didn't play them much. Just love the imagery of them though. So again, I don't think they're going to change significantly how you played them, but they do have some cool new rules, particularly buffs to some of the elite infantry that make them really, really good. So again, the same, you've got your Grand Army list. This format is the same. So you've got your Grand Army list. The percentages are pretty much the same with every single Grand Army list. So it's 50% on here on characters, but up to 25% at least on core, up to 50 on special, up to 25 on rare, up to 20 on mercenaries, up to 25 on allies. And if you see my video, you've got to have like a hero and stuff like that. There's some other restrictions on the allies, so be sure to check out my video where I talk about the sort of the main rule changes you need to know about from 8th edition. So you've got Dwarf Warriors, Quarrelers, Thunderers, 0-1 Rangers. If your general's a king, 0-1 Longbeards. So Longbeards aren't just core. You've got to, you can take one unit. So special, 0-1 Hammers per king or thane. The hammers are really good, really, really scary. So you got your Dwarf Lords, runic weapons are back. They've still kept all that. You could essentially, they work pretty much the same as they've always worked. I think the biggest difference is now is you can dispel with runesmiths, where you couldn't before. And magic resistance obviously makes spells harder to cast on your units. But yeah, and then other than that, there isn't a lot of difference. You've got the Anvil of Doom, so you can strike these. These work like a bound spell. And then, they've got different effects depending on what you cast it on. So you've got those. It works a bit like the casket where it can't move. The Rune of Wrath and Ruin is magic missile, 2d6 strength 4 hits, AP -2. Doesn't hit everything, thank God. That was pretty horrendous when it did that with Thoric Ironbrow. I remember that tournament. I think there was 8 in the top 10. Dwarf Runesmiths, to the FAQ did. And then you do total power every turn, basically. So now they've just done it that if you cast at a higher level on the Oath and Steel, you get a better effect. But I don't think there's any such thing as total power or ancient power, I think it was called. So you've got Dwarf Runesmiths. They've got this Forge Fire, so they get Armor Bane 2 and Flaming. So that's pretty cool that you get that special rule on the unit. So they sort of makes their weapons glow. Slayers, they've got Death Blow. That means that when they die, they get to fight and stuff like that. And maybe it's not just fight, but it's like do damage. You've got Engineers, you've got Artillery Master, Entrenchment. So they've got some special rules. Then And it says a friendly unit of quarrelers or thunderers or a war machine that's within command can reroll hit rolls of 1 or reroll on artillery dice. So they can buff your normal shooters as well. Your dwarf warriors, as standard, they can have drilled, they can have veteran, 0 to 1 unit that is. They got close order, hatred of Orcs and Goblins, magic resistance, resolute, and shield. Well, resolute just means they're slow. They roll like 1 less dice when they pursue and run, basically. Charge even. No, pursue and flee. Yeah, pursue and flee. Then you've got Longbeards. So, you know, they're pretty cool. Again, they've got this vulnerable rule. Allows other people to reroll panic around them. Quarrelers and Thunderers, you know, it pretty much, you could have gone back 2 editions and look at the iBook and it's very similar, which kind of is funny because it plays into how dwarves they haven't really moved with the times, right? That's the whole point. They're stuck in their ways a bit. I think it's really cool. Now hammers are amazing, so because they've got their stoic, they've got these great hammers, so they're armor bane, magic, armor piercing, -2 strength +2, but they're not strike last. And it says during a turn which is charged by the enemy, they get +1 to initiative and attacks. So if you charge them, their initiative goes up, their attacks go up. They can also, if they can issue challenges like a king if he's in the unit. And they do have shield wall, stubborn, so stubborn rule still there. So these guys are really good, like hit really hard. You can take runic weapons on the champion, talismanic runes, so only those 2, talismans or runes. They have like quite interesting rune combinations you can do, and most of the runes seem very similar I haven't like deep dived on it, but they seem very similar to what they were before. Iron breakers, they've got full plate, shields, hand weapons, so that's a 3-up armor save. That's probably like the best save you'll get on infantry on foot, you know, unless you've got some magic item or something like that. And it says the Iron Beard can take, you know, Drake gun or pistols. Then you have some bombs drilled, if you want to have drilled. I think it'd be very useful on these guys. Runes of Protection, which is 6-up ward by non-magic, so they get an extra save. So that's kind of, they're meant to be really tanky. I loved Iron Breakers, I've got a lot of them. And then Iron Drakes are there, and they've got their shooting attacks. So yeah, you can take those as well. They've got Drake guns and full plate armor. So Drake gun is 18-inch strength 5, -1 armor bane 2, dwarf crafted flaming and quick shot. So they're pretty nasty. Obviously they're a rare choice, I think. So miners, and again, replace close order with open order is free. Definitely do it. They can have veterans purchase a magic standard. So miners, they got the ambush rule. So they got Vanguard as well. So your miners are kind of your fast, quote unquote, dwarfs, fast dwarfs. Not sure if they are fast, but there you go. Slayers, again, these cool. They can accept challenges. I think that's the giant slayers. It always wound on a 4+, regardless. And then the troll slayers have got death blow, immune psychology, loner, magic resistance, motley crew, open order, resolute, and then the giant slayer has got fight me and the slayer rule. So they're the ones that, oh no, so do they. So they always wound on a 4+. As I say, they're still slayers, right? So yeah, pretty cool. Gyrocopters, gyro bombers. Again, you got steam gun. You got different types of gun. Looks like. You can have a premature detonation. No one wants that. So you can take a gyro bomber. Then war machines, and they've still got the runes. So they can have engineering runes. And then we get onto the runic items. Now, these will not surprise anyone who's played Dwarves. You've still got the rules of the runes. The rule of 3, so you can't have more than 3 on any one thing. The rule of form. You know, you can't put like an engineering rune on a hand weapon or an armor rune on an axe. The rule of pride, no 2 armies in your saying can be identical. because they don't want to copy other people's work, don't like plagiarism. And then this is the rune of jealousy, which is master runes can only be chosen once per army, and no more than one. Ooh, no item can have more than one master rune. The rune of duplication, only runes marked with an asterisk can be duplicated on the same item. And they're a little bit different. And then some are single-use runes. So these are kind of like, you know, they're pretty classic. The master rune Elric the Mad, of Skelf Blackhammer, master rune of flight, master rune of swiftness, master rune of breaking. So all these they're not going to seem that different. They might do different things, but they've got the same names. You know, rune of fury is +1 attack. You know, it's common. You can have multiple of that. You know, rune of speed, it's like +1 initiative. You know, +1 weapon skill, flaming attacks. It's all what you expect. Rune of stone is a re-roll, so that's not +1 armor save anymore. That's changed. A +1 wound if you want a wound. 6-up ward. You know, it says for each rune it's improved, so you can shield yourself, give yourself a ward save. So that's pretty good. Yeah, talismans, magic banners. So I'll go through all these, but you can see that they've got quite a lot of magic item combos you can do, which is kind of the fun with dwarves, you know, and your engineering ones. You know, rune of reloading, shoot every turn if it misfired or malfunctioned. Master rune of disguise, you're behind full cover. You know, immolation, single use. When it dies, basically it blows up. A rune of forging, reroll the misfire. And this is common, which is, yeah, everyone wants it, right? Flaming attacks, you know, these kind of things. So you can go through that. You got your special rules. So dwarf crafted means no -1 to hit when you stand and shoot. Grumble armor can reroll natural ones when you make armor saves. Grumble weapons are armor piercing. And then resolute means that you're slow. You -1 to flee and pursuit rolls. There you go. And then rune law, so you've got Anvil of Doom's level 3, rune law's level 2, runesmith level 1. They can dispel like wizards. You know, and we see the classic models. I wish I really don't like. Actually preferred the older models, like, which is a bit weird, I know, but the old metal miners were amazing. The old metal quarrelers and everything. These new ones don't really do it for me. I don't mind the long beards and that, but I like the old metal hammerers, for example. They're really cool. Hopefully we'll see those old metals come back because they were so cool. So that's dwarfs. And we've got empire. So empire, again, pretty much what you expect to see. There are steam tanks if you're worried about that. They're definitely steam tanks. So you got your commander. Again, the muster list is the same. Basically, the difference is 0 to 1. There's no elector count, obviously. So you've got Elector of Sigmar or High Priest of Ulrich, and generally the Empire Grandmaster, and then you've got all these different things you can have. Your special is 0 to 1 in a circle. Yeah, you do have restrictions on war machines. So 0 to 3 from the following list per 1,000, and rare is 0 to 1 war machine. So in a 2,000 points, you can have like 2 steam tanks maximum, basically, as long as they're not like over 250 points, which I don't think they will be. But Commander Empire Wizards, you know, they can choose from all these different laws, basically most of them, and there's no battle magic. There's no like schools of magic now, so yeah, fill your boots. So yeah, really cool. You've got some special rules. You've got prayers of Sigmar. So, you know, these are basically invoking prayers as a leadership test if they pass it. A lot of the stuff like this is like, take a leadership test. If you pass it, pick something in command range. And Priest of Ulrich as well have got the same thing. Then you've got engineers. So they've again got the rules where they can help other units. So war machines in command range can use his ballistic skill or reroll an artillery dice. So they kind of help the shooting of the war machines. Your character mounts. I don't think the steed is there, the old mechanical steed. Empire state troops, you know, just basic really. They got close order, detachment, regiment, or units, so you can have detachments on the state troop units, and I'd expect Empire to have that rule. And you know, state missile troops, same again, detachment, regiment units. They can be both, you know, crossbows with handguns if they want to take handguns. They can have like armor. They can have drilled, which is quite useful for missile units because you might want to rank up before you get charged. So militia, archers, you know, it's the great swords, which are kind of like your elite infantry. Flagellants are there as well. So they can be joined by a priest, but they're the only things that can join them, and normally you can't with unbreakable, so that's quite cool. You can put priests in the flagellant units. They've got a 6-up ward, 5-up ward against non-magical attacks with strength 5 or higher because they love it so much. Pistons and outriders, again, kind of cavalry with guns. The Empire Knights and the Circle Knights. There's nothing in here really. I mean, you don't have the Hurricanum, you don't have the Luminarch, you know, these sort of things because they don't exist, because the College of Magic don't exist. You do have the War Altar of Sigma, steam tanks. They're 265 points, so you can't have two of 2,000 points because it's too much percentage. So you only have one. Then you've got your mounts, griffins, you've got great cannons, mortars, hell blasters, Hellstrom rocket batteries. So, you know, all the guns, all the stuff you'd expect. You've got loads of profiles. And you've got your magic weapons, you've got your rune fang, you know, some of these, the white cloak, I remember that one. Empire's not a faction I've played a lot, so sorry if I'm not going into too much detail, but I don't know it very well. Just used to be gun lines basically. But yeah, they've got some extra magic items in there, and there's a whole thing about weapons. So you've got like the grenade launching blunderbuss, the Hockland long rifle, pigeon bombs. So they've got like extra weapon profiles. I don't really think they got many special rules other than what's in the standard game, because they're kind of like your standard army, aren't they? But yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, like, you know, they're pretty iconic. And then we've got Bretts. We've had a lot of talk about the Bretts, but I'll go through this. So your Grand Army composition list, again, it's the same. We've talked about this. It was in the Almanac article. But you've got to have one unit of Knights of the Realm of Foot or mounted, one unit of Men-at-Arms or pairs of Bowmen. So you've got to have one of each. Then for your Ground Knights are great. We know this. Then we've got your Lords of Bretonia. So a single Paladin can upgrade to a Battle Standard Bearer. There's no cost, so you just get a free Battle Standard, but you only have one. And then, you know, you've got your Handmaiden. It's just pretty cool because, you know, you've got your 3 levels of hero. You could be mounted. You get all the normal stuff. Now, the Handmaidens get this armor, so they get magical attacks when they join a unit, and also shield. If you join a unit with unit strength 10 or more, has the chivalrous vow. They may voluntarily retire to the rear of the unit anytime moving through the ranks, taking a position away from combat. Should they do so, no longer within the fighting rank, cannot make attacks. Have attacks directly. However, they continue to confer the benefits and may cast spells. So you can basically put her in the back of the unit and buff the unit, but she can't be hit. So yeah, it's pretty strong for a mounted or even a foot knight unit. Probably can take her foot damsel. Then you've got the Sergeant at Arms, which is like a peasant hero, I guess, which is pretty cool. And And then you got your character mounts. So Barded Pegasus, a Royal Pegasus, Unicorn, Knights of the Realm on foot. Now these are cool. So they're heavy infantry. They could take great weapons, replace shields with great weapons for one, or you can keep the shields and take great weapons. The First Knight, great film. Magic stand up to 25. Magic, so they got Blessing, a Lady, Close Order, Furious Charge, and the Night Vow. So it's a bit basic. They're Women Skill 4, Strength 3, Tough 3. You know, they've got heavy armor and a shield, so they're okay. I think the models are cool. I'm not sure if you take many foot knights. I don't know what the difference is in terms of being mounted. You got your men at arms. Now the monk's cool. You can take these. Got this thing here, which basically means that they gain stubborn. So little Grail monk in there. Yeah, so he's pretty cool. You got like your peasant bowmen, so you got defensive stakes, burning braziers, that kind of thing. The Grail relic, so that's cool because he's got like these guys have got hatred, retinue, this thing stubborn, and the Grail relic is at the front rank, and basically it cannot lose wounds. Once all the battle tokens been removed, the Grail relic itself lose wounds, so it kind of the last thing to go. Counts as both a battle stand, a standard bearer musician, whilst itself is within 12 of friendly model as the Grail Vow. It gains immune psychology and unbreakable, so the unit becomes kind of unbreakable while they've got a Grail Vow character nearby. And you can have one for every Grail character with or unit with a Grail Vow, so they're kind of like they're like the people that follow the knights around. So it's pretty cool. I like these models a lot actually. The metals for that were amazing. Knights Errant, so yeah, pretty cool. They're sort of your cheap knights at 19. Mounted Knight Limbs are 24 points, so what's the difference there? I think they were 11, so 13 points would over double the cost basically, so it's quite significant. You get a lot of bonuses for having them though. So Questing Knights, I really like Questing Knights. Grail Knights, 38 points each. Wow, expensive, but they're really good. Initiative 5 as well, that's huge. Yeah, I think that's better than Chaos Chosen. I think the Chaos Chosen Initiative 4. So, yeah, Grail Knights are definitely worth getting. I think they're up for pre-order today as well. So I'll definitely pick up each blister of those. If they're blisters, I think they're still metal, actually, looking at the pre-order thing. Yeah, so you got your Knights. I'm going to do a deep dive on Brett's later. So, yeah, subscribe to the channel for that. Yeah, so these guys, Hippogriff's Field Trebuchet, again, it can't be moved, so it's set up, that's it. If you've actually seen how big these things are normally, you see why they can't move it. And then you've got your knightly virtues, so, you know, you can give a knight of empathy, and they can join a unit of peasants, which is quite funny. So I don't know if that's a new thing. You know, so you've got all these different knightly virtues you can have. It's different to vows, I think. Then you've got all the magic items. So, you know, you've got your Sword of the Quest, your Heartwood Lance, all this sort of stuff. I remember playing a game, and there it is, the Falcon Horde of Freedom, and they played against Steve Follows, and I was using the demon army with loads of screamers and stuff, and then he sounded the horn, and I couldn't use my fly rule, and then it still does the same thing. And then all my screamers were like movement 1, my plague drones I think were like movement 4, and basically my whole army couldn't do anything, and he just yeah, charged me, and then that was it really. So that was pretty he was pretty excited about how that came off. It was fun actually, it was a giggle. So yeah, they got the blessing of the lady we know about. You know, they got the finest war horses, the lance formation, and then there's the rules for the lancer in here as well. You got your chivalrous vows, one of the following listed amongst their special rules. The Grail questing knight, and then you've got the law of the lady, so you can swap down to these ones. So this gives you regen, so it's pretty good. And then the lance formation, so it goes through the rules for the lance, how you draw. This is why, you know, you'll need arcus sights to be able to extend these lines out accurately with a laser. So if you want to get an arcus sight, I've got a Matt from Pro Painters made a special face hammer one, and I've got an affiliate, so you get 10% off on the website. I think they're £5, so I'll put a QR code in the video, but also a link in the description. So if you want to get hold of one of those, if you don't know what I mean by arc of sight, it's basically like a template with angles. You'll see it on the screen, but you line it up to the corner, and then you can trace these lines out. So when you're playing a game, it's easy to see what's in the flank, what's in the rear, what's in the front. Makes things a lot easier. We used to always use them back in the day. So anyway, the lance formation, you got your arcs. If you get charged, and your lance can get disrupted, they're called blunted. And yeah, just basically how does a lance work? So there's lots of rules there. It's fairly straightforward, but essentially you get to fight with these models. Your rank bonus is when you get to the number of models for what you need for that type of infantry. I think it's 4 for heavy cavalry, so you'd only have 1 here, but you get a bonus +1, so basically you're +2. So a unit of 10, 3, 6, 10, you're still going to get +2 ranks, so it's more than if you were ranked up normally, like 5 by 2, and you're going to get more in attacking, because you're going to have 7 attacking, not 5, so it's a benefit. You got the color section, so you got some really cool Bretonian models. Now wood elves and high elves, I think they'll be very strong purely because of the initiative. Again, you got your army comp, 1 unit of Glade Guard. You've got to have 0-1 Deepwood Scouts, maybe taken per 1,000. 0-1 Truman Agent, 0-1 Glade Lord Spellwing per 1,000. Special, up to 2 Treekin. So, you know, kind of restricted in there. And then wood elves. So you can take magical arrows. So I think these used to be magic items, but now you can just upgrade to have the type of magical shot you want, or type of bow ammunition you want to take. There's the arrow kern off, lets you shoot before the game here at the enemy general, just ping a wound off, but you get -1 to, they get +1 to their roll to go first. You know, you can have talismanic tattoos, which is like a ward basically. You take from quite a long, got high magic elementalism, battle magic, illusion. They have, there is some Athel spells as well. You got shadow dancers. I used to really like the war dancers, and they've got the, if you join a unit of war dancers, then they've got these special rules. So they have the Dancer's Heroic special rule while they're with the unit, so they get that, and they've got their special weapons they've got here. And they've got evasive, which allows you to move in the shooting phase. You can like flee from their shooting, I think. Move through cover, strike first, talismanic, you know, so like they can join war dancers basically. The shadow dancer may be a wizard as well. That's quite interesting. Illusion spells, that's quite cool. Don't know if you used to be able to make them wizards, but that's cool. I like that. Shui Stalker is like your Way Watcher, super Way Watcher. Take forest spites, ambushes, elven reflexes +1 initiative first range, feigned flight. You can run away but automatically rally, fire and flee. So it's quite interesting. Hawk-eyed archer. It can target enemy characters it can draw line of sight to, regardless of the normal rules for lone characters. In addition, can shoot in a unit. So you can snipe. So it's a sniper. That's pretty cool. You'll get your lookouts, sir, but you know, still, there's a chance to kill a champion. Could be quite good if they've got a magic item. Treeman Ancient. You know, it's a Treeman. They're pretty good. Oh, it's a level 2 wizard as well. There you go. Can be up to a level 4. It's flammable, means psychology, large target. Used to be stubborn. Is it still stubborn? Yeah, still stubborn. Terror, timber, tree spirit, tree whack. Then you've got your character mounts. So you could take the stag, unicorn, the warhawk. I'm sure they'll be in a Rhine model when they get round to doing the or a Lariel. Well, does it exist at this time in the history? I don't know. And I know that he's a god, right, Kurnoth, so he must be around. Can't imagine him not being around. Then you've got the archers, and you can take Deepwood Scout. Then you've got your Deepwood Scouts, which is like slightly better archers. They can take, again, you can take different arrows. Then I think they've got what? Exactly the same. They have special rules as they've got evasive, fly and flee, move through cover, scout, skirmishers. Whereas these guys are open order, move through cover, reflexes. So Glade Guard, you know, these are kind of your ranked up ones. These are your more hard to get ones. Eternal Guard. These guys have got close order, elven reflexes, move through cover, stubborn. So they're really good. You can give them drilled, you can give them veteran. You got martial, prowess. They can support to the flank and rear. They got the Sari spear, which is -1 fighting an extra rank, -1 AP, and it can make supporting attacks in a turn in which it's charged. And you gain +1 to initiative against the charging unit. So, wow, okay. Pretty good. Wildwood Rangers. So these guys have got the Ranger's Glaive. Again, it doesn't strike last. Whilst in base content, any model causes fear or terror, they get +1 to attack characteristic and multiple wounds 2. They're sort of slightly better at killing monsters. So these are pretty cool. Close order, elven reflexes, guardians. The Wildwood immune psychology, move through cover. You got War Dancers. Again, you've got your Dancers Loic. So you haven't got your auto win the combat by 2 anymore. So, or auto draw, whatever it was. So, but yeah, so pretty cool. Way Watchers, all the special rules. Scout, skirmish. They can have arcane. They've got the ballistic skill 5 and 6. Pretty scary. Have to have magic items as well. They can have ambush, vanguard, or veteran rules as well. Only 1 unit in your army. Lots of shooting in this army that's good. And you've got your Glade Riders and Sisters of Fawn. So they're in there still. Again, the Glade Riders, you can have 1 unit, ambush, drilled, reserve, have magic standard. They've got fire and flee. They're open order, fast cavalry, skirmish, swift stride. So, you know, all really good. Sisters of Fawn. You know, they've got a bound spell. They've got these javelins, so they're like cavalry. So pretty good. They all got the wood elf armies, like loads of hard to get to swim, like skirmishy, evasive things that shoot you, or like run around you and get into combat. I think they'd be quite strong, wood elves. That's just me. But you've got the hunting spear from the Wild Riders, and these guys hit quite hard. And again, they've got counter charge. They're fast cavalry. They've got frenzy, furious charge, move through cover, open order, swift strides. They're really maneuverable. Talismanic toes as well. And the Warhawk Riders, I love the Warhawk Riders. They're monstrous cavalry. Spears and sorry longbows. And again, feigned flight, fire and flee, fly 10, skirmishes, swift stride, elven reflexes. All the speedy, whippity snapness of elves. Still got giant eagles. and normal treeman. Then you've got the forest spites. So these are your like magic items you can take. Like annoyance and netlings used to be like only hit on a 6. Remember at the masters, the first masters that Ben Curry ran, that Martin Bunton challenged out Ben Johnson's Wyvern and basically won with banner, war banner, outnumber musician type of thing, because he didn't hit enough. Ben was running the Colour Azorga on his Wyvern to charge other monsters and be like, your mount's not attacking. So pretty cool. But yeah, he won the Masters with Wood Elves back in the day. And you got your that was Martin Bunton, by the way, who won the first Masters that was run in the UK for a long time. I think probably the first one ever, actually. Then you've got the magic items. So you know, you got your Blades of Loic, your Bow of Lauren, your Helm of the Hunt, all these really iconic things from the book, from the old book. And Head of Doom arrow still there, so this isn't unique as well, so you can have multiple of these. Doesn't quite do the same. It basically says you put the 3-inch blast template over the sort of the unit, any models. So basically it's like a little mini War Machine shot, single use, so it's quite cool. I know before it was amazing. It was like, you know, 3d6 hits or something stupid. Yeah, and Talismanic Tattoos, 6-up ward. Then you've got your Law of Athel-Loran, and you've got some special weapons. You've got your bow, so it's 32-inch range, armor bane, it's got volley fire, and then you've got the different types of arrows that give you minus extra AP, or poisoned attacks, or flaming magical, or, you know, multiple shots. So yeah, it's quite cool. I think the Wood Elves have got a really cool book. They've got loads of cool options. They'll be very popular. They always were, to be honest. And like in these models, these are so good. I can imagine these guys being very popular. Now, speaking of popular, High Elves, I think are going to be really strong. So you've got your army composition again. So 0 to 1 High Prince or Archmage, 0 to 1 Dragon Mage or Handmaiden. And then you've got at least 25% on the core, which is standard. Special, so you've got White Lions, Swordmasters, Phoenix Guards, Shadow Wars, Tyrant Chariots. 0 to 1 unit of Dragon Princes per 1,000 points. If you have the Thracian Hunter Elven Honor, 0 to 1 Lion Chariot may take as a special choice. Your general has Sea Guard Honor. 0 to 1 Sky Cutter can be a special, obviously they're rare normally. Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, you've got Great Eagles, Flame Spire or Frostheart, not counting mounts. So yeah, and then they've changed that whole like random general thing, but your lords can basically, you can take like a I'll say it's like an honor, I think they're called honors. May take an Elven honor, so I'll go to that now. So your Elven honors is like Law Master, so it makes you a wizard, can't be on a horse, gives you access to these laws, gives you a Sword of Hoeth, so it basically makes you a Sword Master hero. Then you can make yourself a Shadow Warrior hero, or a Phoenix Guard hero, or a White Lion hero, I guess is in here as well. Yeah, or a White Lion hero, or a Dragon Prince hero, or, you know, so that you can literally Sea Guard, and you can, so you give yourself an honor. So it's a bit like the vows for Brett. So you can kind of, your lord is from which area of Ulthuan and what's their stuck. So it's quite cool. You can do a lot of customization on your characters, so you can have like themed characters to go in your unit. I think that's a really cool thing. And then you've got High Elf Mages, and they've got the spell laws they can pick from. You notice that he's got Strike First, and there was a time when all High Elves had Strike First. I don't think they've all got Strike First now. You know, it'd be way too powerful. The Then you've got your Dragon Mage. Again, like it's toughness 5, 6 wounds, so actually quite hard to kill. And he knows spell from either battle, magic, or elementalism. Maybe a level 2. Can have magic items. And I think we'll find out about the Sun Dragon, what armor save it gives him. Dragon Fire, see below, drink scale, counts as full plate. There you go. So 4-up save. So pretty good for a wizard. I mean, you know, not to be sniffed at. You got the Handmaidens. So they were like, they did that Shadow Warrior kit, which could be either, didn't they? I believe. Character mounts. You take the Militia, which is like you just did Bowman or Spearman. They can have Veteran. If you replace Valor of the Ages, and again you do that with archers as well. They don't have Strike First, which is good because I think that's broken. Sea Guard, I love Sea Guard. It says when you make a stand and shoot, they can do it regardless how close they are, and they make a free redress the ranks, after which it will hold, so you can basically shoot and then turn into a ranked up formation. I think Sea Guard are really cool. I really like them. Hopefully they release the Isle of Blood models again, like, because they were really nice Sea Guard models, or a new kit would be good. White Lions, these guys are solid, like really good, because they're initiative 5, right? So you look at their base initiatives, it's like 5, 4, it's really high. So you're generally going to be able to outstrike people. So here you've got the open order. So that's amazing. Stubborn, move through cover. So these guys are like ranked up, but also they're fast and maneuverable. It can only be joined by Army General or a character with a Thracian Hunter Elven Honor. Any unit that's joined by Army General can issue and accept challenges. So a bit like Hammers, basically. You know, they do have, I think they got special weapons which come, I think they're at the end, but because I think they're armed with Thracian Great Blade, yeah, 187. So this really is what makes High Elves really good, right? So you've got a ceremonial halberd. So this is your Phoenix Guard weapon. Strength +1, AP -1, armor bane, fight an extra rank, magical, requires 2 hands. So you get to support attack with your halberd, which is like really cool. Then you got your Thracian Great Blade, which is armor piercing -3, strength +2, requires 2 hands, strike last. So it's basically always got the armor bane as if you've rolled that extra pierce from a great weapon. But the Sword of Hoeth, this is the one, like 2 strength, armor piercing 2, magical, requires 2 hands, but it doesn't strike last. So Sword of Hoeth, Swordmaster, initiative 6. I just think they're great. I think Swordmasters are so good. I mean, you're going to pay for them, but they're 14 points. The same, you know, that's I think that's around what they used to be, like 14, 15 points, and Phoenix Guard was slightly more expensive. They've got Cleaving Blow as well, which is a natural 6 to wound. So if they're regular infantry, heavy infantry, regular cavalry, heavy cavalry, war beast, they're not permitted an armor save. So, or regen save. So you just it's just like a killing blow, basically. So they never had that before. Not quite as good as killing blow, but you know what I mean. It's pretty good. Deflect shots, 6-up ward against shooting. It's non-magical. It can be joined by mages or a character with the Lawmaster Elven Honor. They can be drilled as well. It is quite expensive when you start racking up all this extra stuff. The champion can have magic items up to 50 points. I think most armies have 25. Elves used to have 25, but they were one of the only factions that could do it. You know, like Phoenix Guard, you've got the Witness to Destiny. It's only a 6-up ward. It used to be 4-up. That was probably way too good. Could be ambushes, can have chariot runners, feigned flight. I really like these guys. Again, you could join with Shadow Stalker, Elven Honor. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just really like Shadow Warriors. And again, they've got their longbows, and then Bows of Avalon and Sister of Avalon, Illyrian Reavers, and Silver Helms. So, you know, some cavalry. Again, like, you know, they got Elven reflexes +1 initiative in the first round. So, you know, swordmasters become initiative 7, which means you're going to outstrike most units. Like if you're initiative 3 or lower, you just go in second, and you're not going to have much left because they're going to batter you. Dragon Princes, these guys, full plate armor, shields, barding. So basically they're, you know, 2+ save, initiative 5. They're getting extra. I think they've got lances, right? Yeah, so they've got lances. They've also got these extra special rules. So I think that's ephemeral weapons. Reroll hit rolls of 1 if they're using hand weapons. Ephemeral barding, reroll 1's dangerous terrain. Wizards can wear armor with no penalty. Yeah, pretty good. And you've got your Tunic chariots, your White Lion chariots. So it's a light chariot, heavy chariot, respectively. Again, this is D6 impact hits at strength 5, so pretty decent. You can use a character mount as well, Lion Chariot, which is pretty cool. I really like the Sky Cutter. I just think it's a cool model. And you can give it an eagle eye bolt thrower. You can give it a bolt thrower, which I think is really cool. And it can be a character mount as well. There's rules for a griffin. A griffin? That's interesting. I know they did have a special character, the Alfarian the Grim on a griffin. Maybe that's what we'll see again. Before he lost his eyes. And then dragons, you've got sun, moon, star, and it's got their respective rules. Dragon fire, Flamespire Phoenix, and the Frost Heart, I guess, is in here as well. Yeah, Frost Heart Phoenix. So Blizzard Aura, Strike Last, any models. Wow. Any models get Strike Last. Okay. Pretty crazy. And then, yeah, you can bring it back to life. Do a Wake of Fire. And you've got the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. So we talked about the Elven Honours, the Honour system. Then you've got their magic items. So you've got the White Sword, Blade of Leaping Gold, Reaver Bow, which is extra attacks plus D3, magical, Armor Bane 2. Sorry, that's a Blade of Leaping Gold. Reaver Bow is strength +1 magical attacks. Counts as a bow of Avalon. May make a number of shooting attacks equal to their attacks characteristic. And what's the bow of Avalon do when it's at home? It's a bit later, isn't it? So you've got quite a lot of special rules in High Elves. There we go. Armor Bane, magical volley. You've got Law of Safari. So like you've got loads of like magic items with extra rules. Then you've got, you know, their battle banner, which is the plus D3 combat result points, which is always really strong. Which is 60 points, thankfully. I think it's BSB only. Then, you know, you've got your sort of arcane items, Silver Wand, and stuff like that, and or High Elf special rules. So, Arrows of Isha, then the Blessing of Azoran, Fire at Wars against Wound Suffer, that has the Flaming Attacks rule. Dragon Armor, 6-up ward against wounds suffered. So, yeah, we mentioned that already. Yeah, Valor of Ages, reroll panic tests, or being fled through heavy casualties. And then you've got your spells, Fools I'm Making, that's the classic one. And then, I mean, they all are, but, you know, that's cool. And your magic weapons, and then you've got your army. So there you go, there's the High Elves. Pretty cool, I think. So if you want to play any of the main good guy factions, you're going to need this book. I'd probably pick it up anyway. I'd say it's a really good to have this in your arsenal, so you need to know what everything does. Like I say, if you like the video, like and subscribe. There will be more Old World content coming on the channel, so please, you know, support me. Hit the bell so you get notified. Tell your friends, and if you want to kick up your Arcus-site, that'd be really cool. QR code that will go on the screen during the credits. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon.